Guys, huge news here. We just learned this. We just discovered this. I was going to call it breaking news, but really it's rather, this is how the ESRB actually works. So, obviously, I put out a lot of rant videos on the ESRB. Why aren't you doing your jobs? It's so simple. What's wrong with you guys? Look at the terrible responses from the U.S. agency on this. What the hell is going on? Well, Alex has done some research, and what he just I wish we could have just filmed what he said when he walked over here, but we're turning on the cameras. We're just going to go ahead and do a separate segment on what we discovered. So Alex.
Because the way that ESRB rates video games is actually kind of a horrible system. Now, if you're a game company, you have to apply to the ESRB to rate one of your video games. And what you do is you fill out this application, and then you send them a short video. You don't send them your game. You don't even have to have completed your game. You send them a 2-minute video that one person sits in a closed room
of whatever they want
to show you, and it's supposed to be the worst of your game. You're supposed to volunteer the worst information, and then you sit down with your clipboard, and you have to circle E, T, M, and then is there an A?
That AO.
Yeah. So that is how the ESRB rates these games. So when the ESRB says, and Peggy says, "Hey, we don't judge things based on their trailers," they're absolutely right. They're not lying to you. They're not.
Their responses seem so tone deaf, and they don't understand. It's because they don't understand.
Exactly.
They
don't play the fucking games.
Now, this is something that seems wrong, and it almost feels like it could be illegal, right? Well, in 2006, there was a senator that wanted to make it illegal. So the United States Truth in Video Game Rating Act is a bill introduced by Senator Brownback in September 26, 2006. It would require the ESRB to give actually have time with the games, actually play the video games, not just simply watch a 2-minute video, just to make sure that people wouldn't come in. Another part of the bill was if a video game company was found purposely leaving things out of the video that they were submitting or adding things later on, like, saying there's not going to be microtransactions and 2 weeks later putting in microtransactions, like you could be fined.
Yeah.
So this was an act never made it out of committee, but this is something that even 13 years ago, that when you hear this information, you're like, man, this is wrong. This should be illegal.
Yeah, it really should be. And to go over what you said before, and I was looking it up here. I was trying to find the exact name. Initially, the government did create the agency so the government can oversee it, the IDSA, which then changed into the ESRB, or got renamed into the ESRB. I just feel like over the years, while initially, parents and the American public were really upset, for the wrong reasons, fueled by, hysteria and ignorance
mentality,
right? Yeah. Ignorance over violence and sex and stuff like that. And then they but then over the years, it seems like this ratings board that's supposed to be protecting us and is supposed to have our interests in mind is no longer for the consumer, and it's more for these companies to continue to protect their own interests.
If you're the CEO of a company that put a casino in a video game and you're also the chairman of the board of the ESRB, that's...
No, the ESA, who owns the ESRB.
Well, it's a huge, huge issue, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what you're doing is you're like, I'm going to make this 2-minute video to prove to them that it's not bad. It's like, well, let's leave out all the bad stuff, and then I'm going to hand the video to myself,
and then
it's be like, you watch this. Yeah.
So basically, what I wanted to get across with this video is that the ESRB is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Okay, like what's fun? She has not responded. If you're wondering, on that email that I sent, the most diplomatic email ever. Not a singe of angry.
She's getting flooded with emails.
Very concerning. I don't care. It's her fucking job. If she answers me or she answers one of us, then we will put it out in public and she'll stop getting emails. The ESRB will stop getting emails because they put out a public statement. But no, they choose to not address it because they think it will go away. And I guess maybe she's right. Yeah. Because after the outrages in this, eventually people are going to relax over it and be like, well, whatever. And I
nothing we
just
can
want
do
to say
about it
the
now.
ESRB is a joke. It's a fake organization, and it's not really there to protect
I didn't realize that they didn't play the games.
Yeah,
I just
Me
that's
neither.
the part that blew my mind. That I wanted to make a
and
whole
also
video
they
out
do a
of.
whole they volunteer whatever they want to show.
Well, I'm gonna read to
here's
you-
a little clip of this is
Right.
the worst part. I promise.
Yeah, of course. No wonder NBA 2K20 got an
Yeah.
E
Oh, he
for
said
everyone.
bastard.
Oh, it's a basketball game, and you have to now. I think they were removing some of that from the actual game based upon all of our pushback, and but it was there. It was there when they rated the game, and it's just bullshit.
It probably wasn't in the video. They
But
probably.
do you see what pushback actually does? We can get some of this stuff removed, and that's why we need to be rally together and say, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, there's people in the House of Representatives and the Senate now that are trying to create bills to change this kind of thing. They want to combat loot boxes, and they should probably bring this back up and say, look, if we're going to let you self-regulate, you actually have to self-regulate. You have to play through these games, because the only thing that NBA 2K submitted to them were parts of the game where they used damn and hell. Those are the only negatives at all put in there. No simulated gambling, no loot packs, nothing, because we have the full rating summary. It was only those two words.
The actual rating summary, we have it, and they don't mention any
all
of that
makes
stuff.
sense
now
now.
they have to otherwise also tell them that there are in-game purchases,
Yes.
and so then the ESRB does their little sticker in-game purchases. But that is such a wide catch-all that they're like, oh yeah, no. So here's the actual fucking response from the ESRB that they don't want to give, because I know what it is. It's because you're not putting in currency into the simulated slot machine or the roulette wheel or the pachinko machine. That's not simulated gambling, because you're getting a free spin.
Yeah.
You're getting a free slot machine lever pull.
Yeah.
But that's not the definition of simulated gambling. You're redefining simulated gambling so that you can make it work in your favor, and you can still have it allowable for all ages, rather than restricting the money.
Yeah.
The money, Lebowski. The money. And that's where it hurts them. That's why this was, I thought, the best avenue for us to hurt the sports games, or hurt some of these bullshit. I shouldn't say hurt the sports games. I should say hurt the loot boxes and the bullshit microtransactions and the gambling in these games that don't need to be there. We need to hurt those things by forcing games that utilize them to use a harsher rating, which affects their revenue. And that was the only way to do it. But now, when you came over to my house and you fucking blew my mind and just depressed me and realized that it's a fake fucking company.
What?
Well, they don't
It's
even
corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, so you made a good point on NBA 2K talking about all of these things, and there's a really good chance that the person sitting in that room watching a short video saw none of it. And so it was
and
probably
that's why they give it an E.
because what they
and they
saw,
can't
Sure, that's what
literally
happened.
reply. Well, the reason why, Joe. Oh, we really enjoyed your email. It was quite well put.
Yeah.
I am giving you a reply simply because it was so well put. No, here is our reply, Joe. We didn't actually play the game. Thank you for your kind concern. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty much what
Then
it
you
is.
send them the meme with Jackie Chan, what?
Well, it makes the Peggy response actually make a lot of sense, because Peggy specifically said that we do not judge games based on their trailers, because they judge games based on a different short video that has none of the things on it. And they're like, we don't. They were being accurate.
Made no sense.
Because they do not judge games by those
Yeah,
things,
we didn't
because they're
see
probably
that.
not shown those things.
Right. So everybody, I don't know how many of you knew that or knew that already. Type in the comments below, but I just wanted to make this video to point that out.
I did not know that.
Because I did not know
and
that.
it just
And now that I
makes
know
me
that, I know
mad.
not only am I never getting a response from Beth or whatever her name is, I'm not getting a response from the ESRB, I'm not getting a response from the ESA, we're not getting this stuff changed. If they make an error, they're self-regulatory, they don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And they're, you just said it yourself, the people in charge are people that want to encourage these kinds
They
of
make
things
money
to
on it.
make
They
more
make
money.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
So this is not the way we do it. The way we do it is we bring more awareness to how simulated gambling and loot boxes can affect our children. That's the only thing our government listens to. That's why we have the ESRB in the first place and how it got to that point in the first place. Now, they managed to take over that, but if we push it back in that way, then people will, wake up again. And really, that was a Republican senator. You said
he was a former senator. He's retired.
I might disagree with every other damn thing he said.
I looked up the stuff. I disagree with almost everything he's ever said. But he was 100% right here.
But he's 100% right. And those guys are the ones that can be our ally on this if they can make legislation and they can, do all that kind of stuff and ensure and protect children, because you cannot have that kind of stuff in a game rated E for everybody. I'm really not asking that much. No, and we really should be fighting even harder on this point. But if we could get this small battle won, then we can go after the big battle.
At this point, we're just trying to get the foot in the door.
Right.
Yeah, because
we can't do anything.
Even if you win that battle and you make these games T for teen, the majority of people are going to spend money. Are going to continue to spend money.
Right.
So
that's why it needs to be mature.
It needs to be changed.
Or adults only.
Yeah.
Or a completely new rating, or a more in-depth rating where it says loot boxes on the damn fucking box instead of in-game purchases, thus creating a new category between, hey, I like that skin. Hey, you like that skin? $3. Oh, okay, here you go. Or, hey, I like that skin. Oh, you like that skin? Give us $5 per loot box. You have a 0.0001% chance to get that skin. And you'll get another one, and then you'll get duplicates, which will give you currency, which you can then take that currency to plug back into a free spin, a free roulette wheel, and a free slot machine in order to get more currency to then develop a gold version, which you can then craft into a platinum version.
It tells you how to do it right there.
And you can get the platinum version, then melt that down and transmogrify it into the skin that you want without the exclusive special edition 1 week only version in which people paid 10% more, so you don't get that particular version. Sorry.
Yeah.
See?
Stop playing mobile games. This is your fault.
No, it's not.
No. I see. Not even I go that far, because there are some good mobile games, and you can seriously not spend money there if you want, but a lot of those mobile tactics are coming over into our $60 titles. That's what I'm saying. NBA 2K20, you want to do that kind of stuff? Make it fucking $0.
Yeah, because you see, how much money did you make on a mobile game?
Right. And there's been news stories proving they make more money on those microtransactions than they make on the actual one-time upfront purchase.
We know. I mean, EA.
We know that
it was $1.2 billion this last year just on microtransactions from both FIFA and Madden combined, and so we know exactly how many copies of the game it was, and $1.2 billion worth. So.
And both of those games rated E for everyone. If those games were rated M for mature, their revenue would definitely be affected. But the ESRB is not going to help us. They're just not. Never. I don't think there's going to be a day with the people who are in charge and the people who are chairmen and the people who actually do the ratings. They're not going to be our ally.
Or play the whole fucking game.
I mean, this quote from 2006 is as true today as it was back then, and this was before any of the problems. This is from Senator Brownback. The current video game rating system needs improvement because reviewers do not see the full content of games and don't even play the games they're supposed to rate. For video game ratings to be meaningful and worthy of a parent's trust, the game ratings must be more objective and accurate. Like, there's no political twist tied to that. That is just like a very true, reasonable statement. It's a bill that never made it out of committee, unfortunately, so never got even voted on. But it's just a shame that it didn't.
Yeah. All right, guys. Public service announcement here, giving you more context on how we'll probably never get a reply from these nice people.
Very nice people.
Very nice.
Very
people.
stable geniuses.
Very, very cool. Very cool. See you guys on the next Angry Joe show.
Bye, guys.
Very cool.